Before the crown, before the pressure, before history changed everything, there was a time when Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip lived like an ordinary young couple. No constant crowds, no heavy expectations, just freedom, and many believe it was the happiest time of their lives. In 1949, the couple moved into Clarence House. It wasn't glamorous. In fact, it was outdated and in poor condition. But Philip didn't care. He threw himself into renovations, determined to turn it into a real home, not just another royal residence. Inside those walls, something surprising happened. They lived normally. They had separate bedrooms, standard for royals, but staff often noticed laughter echoing through half-open doors. There was no stiffness, no constant ceremony. As one staff member said, there was no pomp. He was very rough and ready. Elizabeth walked her own corgis. They dressed casually. They didn't even bother dressing for dinner when alone. It wasn't the life people imagined. It was simpler. Philip never quite fit the royal mold. He disliked formality. He spoke his mind sometimes too directly. At one visit, chaos in a household made a host snap in frustration. "Why haven't we got a butler? Why is everybody so hopeless in this house?" Philip himself dismissed polo as a snob sport at first. Ironically, it would later become one of his greatest passions. But what made him stand out most was this. He treated royal life like something to challenge, not OBE. Then came Malta, and everything changed. When Philip returned to naval duty, Elizabeth joined him there. For the first time, she wasn't just a princess. She was a young woman living freely. She drove herself, went shopping, mixed with people without constant scrutiny. An observer once said, they were so relaxed and free, like any ordinary young married couple. They dined out, swam in the sea, went boating, spent long days under the sun. For a brief moment, they had something rare. A normal life, but that freedom came at a cost. Their son, King Charles III, remained in England. Elizabeth missed key moments of his early childhood. She was often described as reserved. Philip, on the other hand, was more hands-on, determined to shape his son's future. He once said, "I want him to be a man's man." Meanwhile, Philip thrived in the Navy, demanding, intense, but respected. One sailor said, "He made us work like dogs, but treated us like gentlemen." Then reality returned. King George VI's health began to fail, and with it, their freedom faded. Philip was forced to give up the naval career he loved. He later admitted, "I'd much rather have stayed in the Navy." Their life would never be the same again. The world was waiting. Duty was calling, and history was about to take everything. For a brief moment, they had lived like any young couple. Then the crown arrived, and nothing was ever normal again.